Welcome to the Thinking Green News Moment. I'm Chris Schneider. Today my guest is Al Stankiewicz with daycreek.com. Welcome, Al.
Well, thanks for inviting me here, Chris.
Welcome back, I should say, Al.
Yeah, I'm returning champion, I guess.
Just 100 episodes after you and I did our earlier. And Al, you know, you do so many wonderful and interesting things at your property at Day Creek. You brought some props here.
Yeah, I thought we'd do a little bit of review of the house because the house has probably been the most interesting aspect of my journey to eco-friendly building. And so I thought I'd bring a few pieces and kind of explain how cordwood actually works.
Yes.
Cordwood house building has been around for a long time now. Matter of fact, we don't know the actual origins, but it's well over 100 years ago. And it was used by settlers in the area, as well as I've learned that some Indian tribes, Native Americans, also used it in some of their buildings up in Canada. So it's got a unique history, and most people that have been building with cordwood typically do it for ecology reasons, as well as being able to build a house very cheaply. I mean, if you put your sweat equity into a house, there's a lot you can do for a lot less expense than a stick frame house that you find commonly today. And how a cordwood house is built is, your basics is a log. Typically most homes in the Midwest here are a single wall cordwood wall, which is anywhere from 12 to 18 inches all the way up to 24. And typically we now say anywhere from 20 to 24 inches is best for better R value in a wall. But typically what you do is you take a piece of wood, and usually we're talking about softwoods such as cedar or pine. And the first thing you do is fell the tree, which by the way is a renewable resource. And you cut the trees down, and then you debark them, and then cut them to the size of the width of your wall, let's say 24 inches, and you leave it dry cure for about a year before you'd actually build with it. This is a piece of red pine here that I used in my house. Now, typically in a 24-inch wall, you would have the log ends exposed, and you would mortar this into a bed. You put about 4 inches mortar on the exterior of the cordwood, and then another 4 inches on the interior, and then that cavity in between is filled with loose-filled sawdust insulation. So that's how you would do that. In my particular case, I did something a little bit different. I built two cordwood walls, known as a double cord wall concept. Now, there's some homes in Canada that have been built this way, but as far as I know, I'm the only one here in the United States that has built a double wall. And the reason why I did it was for energy efficiency. My house is solar heated, solar powered, and I wanted a lot of that internal thermal mass to act as a battery to hold the temperature. So what I did is to take an 8-inch log and to mortar that up on an exterior wall surface, and then once those walls were done, I backed it up with foam insulation. This is a non-toxic open-celled foam. It's a water-based foam, and you can now get it as soy-based. When I built the house 8 years ago, 10 years ago, this wasn't readily available, but now it is in soy. So it's an 8-inch wall in the exterior, 6 inches of foam insulation, and then another 8-inch wall on the inside. And that gives you 22 inches with a little bit of air gap, so it's about 24-inch thick wall. The advantage to doing this way is that the foam blocks air infiltration. Typically, wood will have a check in it like this piece here, or the logs may shrink a little bit, and you have to caulk those up if you're building a standard cordwood wall. But in my case, with the foam on the back, there's no air getting through, and it makes for an airtight house.
Now, people could get more information at a website about what you're doing.
Right.
And what is that?
Daycreek.com, DAYCREEK.com.
It's fascinating what you're doing. Thank you, Al. This is Chris Schneider with the Thinking Green News Moment.